So week for you, go 3-1 on the week. Big win against UL with a huge double play ball to end the game, and then you come in, play conference, and get 2 out of 3. How was your week? What do you see from the team that kind of changed from this week to last week?
You know, I don't know if it's a ton that has changed. You know, some things start to go our way. If you have some game situational things, I think we did an outstanding job of 2-out hitting all week long, and that was something we just hadn't done very well. You know, a couple times we were able to score runs, you know, with 2 outs and nothing going, and we were able to put some things together. I think that was the difference of our kids is offensive. We were able to get some runs in and some timely hitting, something we've been missing a little bit. But, you know, as far as the effort and the intensity which our kids have played, I don't think it's a big difference this week. I think we grew up, we kind of figured out some things, some execution-wise, because the effort has been there for this group. You know, it was an intense game on Wednesday night. I think we go 11 innings on that game, and I was just proud of our kids' effort. You know, they showed up, and there's a lot of things that happened in the game that could have took momentum, kind of sucked it the other way, and you know, a couple of tough calls that you know, could have changed games. And our kids, they didn't worry about it. They kept fighting and come in. We had a legal pitch with 2 outs, and we get the fly ball, and they bring us back on with runners in scoring position, make us pitch again, and Coons does a great job of not letting it phase or gets a ground ball right after. You know, we had a play where we go 1st to 3rd. We try to put some pressure on them. It's a tough call, and you know, kids kept grinding out. You know, we tried to squeeze and to get ahead, and we missed the ball, and we get an out. You know, they didn't hang their head. Guyer stuck in there and grinding out at a bat, and had some good fortune. Bernique's running hard on the ground ball, and we're able to score from second on an infield ground ball. So the kids played hard, and that's what we ask them to do. It's kind of like Coach Hill was talking about. All you can do is show up and work hard, and you don't always have the answers. I don't think we'll ever have the answers in this game. That's why we play this game and coach this game. That's the beauty of it. It's a long season, and it's a body of work rather than a weekend of work. So I think that's what we have to keep grinding. And this weekend, you know, I thought we came out and executed game plan again. Getting runners in from 3rd and be able to score runners with 2 outs was big for us, key. And on top of that, I thought Settle just had an outstanding week, as well as Celine Flores, a freshman. She comes in and she's come in some really tough situations this year, competed well. She did a really good job opening up for us in that UL game. I think she had 3 appearances this weekend in the series. So she's an outstanding kid, has ice water in her veins. She loves to be in the spotlight. And Caroline Settle doesn't have a whole lot of wins by her name, but she's pitched outstanding. I think her ERA in 12 innings was 1.4, playing against some tough competition. And we knew it coming in, it was going to be a tough matchup against Northwestern State. They play well in a lot of phases of the game. They pitch it well. They have some power. They're just a tough softball team to compete against, and for us to be able to take 2 or 3 from them is fortunate. You know, obviously we'd like the sweep, though we had a chance to win that game in the 7th. We did have a chance to win the game in the 7th, and they get a timely hit with 2 outs and tie us in the extras. And you know, that's just part of the growing process. I mean, I think the biggest thing for us is, can we be better this week than we were last week? And that's what we're looking for from the team, is with the young kids kind of filling in, starting to settle into some spots. Can they continue to grow every week? And that offense, you know, can we produce some runs for our pitching staff?
Going back on the road for midweek and now for the series this weekend, I guess just what's the preview? You've already played Houston once, and then you play Houston Baptist this weekend. Just what's the previews?
Yeah, I mean, Houston's a great team. I mean, they're coming off, they're playing with a lot of energy, a lot of excitement right now. They came into our place and took a game from us. So, you know, Vest does an outstanding job having her team ready to play. They pitch it exceptionally well. They have 2 or 3 arms they could go through. That ERAs are under 2. So, you know, they're going to be a well-coached team. They played really well the last couple of weeks. Same thing with HBU. I think HBU's coming off, you know, they got swept by SFA, but if you look, all those games were 2 one-run games and a 3-0 game. And then HBU's been playing really well, and they're always a tough team against us. It's one of those things. I think every time you get into a conference, I don't think there's an easy game in conference. Everyone feels extremely stressful, but HBU has always played us exceptionally tough, and I think right now they're a lot better softball team than they have been. So It's going to be a tough week. I mean, that's 4 tough games for us to get through.
You mentioned Celine briefly, but what does it speak about her? Just like you said, she has ice water, but you have the confidence to bring her into a game when, I mean, it's high stakes. So just, what is she done, or just how good is she, or how good can she be?
Yeah, I mean, can be is, I think our kids all have a high ceiling. Celine, the thing about Celine is Celine has earned the right to come into those situations. She's we put her in early in the year as she's growing up as a freshman, and she's gotten better every time we have. She attacks the strike zone now, and she's able to, she tilts the ball down really well and gets ground balls, and that's what we ask her to do. So we bring her in those situations, and then from those situations of coming in off the bench, she's earned some starts, and we want to see her go against that UL lineup and see how she did, and she was up for the challenge. I think that ultimately what's great about Celine is she's a competitor. She wants the ball. If you put the ball in her hand every day, she would throw. She wants to be in the game. She wants to be in the spotlight, and she wants to do anything she can to help her team be successful. So I think throughout the year she's proved that she's earned more and more opportunities, and that's what you want. Right now she's pitching really well for us.
You have these teams that have 1 or 2 girls, maybe one girl that'll throw a majority of their pitches for their team. And from what I can see, you have 3 or 4 girls that you can probably throw and start and be just fine with. How much is it? How good is it to have that kind of depth at a pitching staff?
It's great. I tell you, I mean, the tough part sometimes is who you go to, but it allows you to play some matchups and kind of depending on what that team's looking like, and then you kind of get a feel for them. The game gives you some different options. That's what I like about our staff. We talk about pitching with a staff a lot because we have some variety. There's a lot of speed difference between the 4 main ones, the innings that you've talked about, and Ashley's coming off of a surgery and she's starting to get some innings in there as well. So some of them like to spin it up and some of them can spin it down really well. So it just gives us a lot of options for us who we're facing. I think the UL game we threw 3 arms right there. And this weekend, you saw us a couple times go to a couple different arms, and we even, bring Alex in with 2 strikes, just to try to get a different look for 1 pitch to get somebody out the inning. So it gives us some variety, some versatility, depending who we're facing that week. So I think hopefully it's harder for offenses to prepare. Where traditionally, you're going to face this pitcher twice in a weekend, where we can maybe throw 4 people at you in a weekend.
Speaking of Alex, not only has she been pitching, but she's also been batting. Is that something that new this year, or has she just been batting? You just haven't been putting her in the lineup?
Yeah, Alex came in her freshman year. We thought she could be able to hit, and she kind of took herself out of that role a little bit and wanted to focus on pitching. Occasionally we let our pitchers get in there and have some BP rounds, and Alex's BP rounds have always looked really well. So just trying to get some spark and kind of let him have a couple BP rounds early before the SFA series, and she looked really good. Timing looked well, so we brought her in for an AB in the SFA series, and she gets a double her first at bat. So I wasn't surprised because in practice she does that. So we've been working on a little bit more. She has some pop. She's a kid that could take the ball jumps off her barrel well. So if we need a spark right there, and Alex is a competitor. So when she's in the box, we know you can get the same thing from the offensive side that you get from when she's in the circle. So anything kind of getting some spark for our team.
On Friday, Justice went into 2nd place all time with the hits. She's not too far off from possibly going in the first all time in hits, and she's done it this year with a lot more of the pressure on her. I guess just what's been your thoughts on her just overall this year?
Yeah, Justice is a special talent. She comes to us. Justice is actually a slapper coming in. She had never really stood and hit, so we transitioned that over her freshman year. And Justice, I think what's cool about it is she had no clue. Like, she gets to first, we stop the game, we give her the ball, and she is like, what's going on? And that just shows you why she plays. She plays because she loves to play the game. And I know her and Erica have been having some conversation. I think that what was really cool about those two is they don't know about stats. They just come out and they want to help their team win and be successful. They play the game extremely hard. For Justice to have this kind of success, it doesn't surprise me. You know, Justice is going to hit early every day. She tries to get some cuts late. She's always working on her craft and trying to find a way. She has a lot of different ways she could come at you. She could short game. She could work through the middle of the field. She has some pop. She has a home run this year. And more importantly, she wants to be in the box, and she gets us going. I mean, she still bases for us. She can hit and run. She's just a very versatile athletic player, and we're fortunate to have her. So I'm happy to see her have a little bit of success and for it to happen actually at home, so she could do it in front of home crowd. But I think, you know, main thing Justice wants to happen right now is this team be successful.
All right, thanks, Coach.